talking to your mic, Pops?
Hello.
Perfect. First one about right there. You good. Bow! What's going on, YouTube? Today we got another great episode, season 3. Shout out season 3. Today we got episode 4. Ready for this one? Today we got two special guests. Today we got Elijah. This one's been in the making.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much,
for
Pops.
having me,
Thank you for
bro.
coming. Thank you for coming. Elijah's dad came out on this podcast.
I had to get Pops on the pod, bro.
Shout out. I'm really excited for this podcast. Me and him been talking. We've been wanting. I've been wanting my dad to come on. My dad doesn't want to come on yet. So I'm very, very excited for having you. We got a lot of questions for you. Cool. A lot of questions for Elijah. So kind of jump right into it. Let's kind of talk about who you are, what you do, and then we'll talk about Pops, who he is and what he does.
For sure. I'm Dunnigan, California, born and raised. Did most of my stuff, competitions in Woodland, California. That's how I ended up out here, knowing a lot of people. College, Sac City. I went to American River first, actually. Then I transferred to Sac City. From Sac City, transferred to San Diego.
Okay.
Played a lot of sports, football mainly. That's kind of what I'm known for. Do a lot of other things. Want to do the entrepreneur route as well. I
see that. Good job.
Yeah, I got a couple businesses going on. Pause those for a bit just so that I could focus more on football. That's the main goal, going to the NFL, obviously.
Yeah.
And it's been a great journey. God being the focus of everything, in my businesses and in football, being able to just give glory to Him.
Exactly.
Give glory to Him while playing is the biggest thing for me. Dad, what you gotta say?
Hey, what's your name? And what's your name? And then, what's your opinion on everything that Elijah's doing?
My name is Robert Johnson. Growing up is a whole lot different than his.
Okay.
Because we didn't have much money, growing up, and I went to school in Dunnigan. Actually, they had a school at that time.
Yeah.
Now they don't. Mm-hmm. But I went to elementary school, junior high, and then we went to high school in Arbuckle.
Okay.
And I was an athlete also, but I ran track. Track was my thing. I ran high hurdles, 120 highs. And the reason that I'm pushing Elijah so much is because first I know the potential that he has.
Yeah.
And I know that he's an athlete. And and I told him I wanted him to be more than what I am.
Okay.
And it was time that he wanted to quit, and I encouraged him. I said, "No, you're not going to quit." I said, that's not happening, because the things that you're going through is going to make you a better man. You have to learn how to face adversity.
Yeah.
Because if you don't learn how to face adversity, you're going to quit at every little thing that you do. So that's why I continue to stay on him, to encourage him.
Yeah.
Speaking
about you growing up, when you grew up, did you have both your parents with you by your side?
Actually, my father died when I was 4 years old.
Okay.
Okay, and then my mother remarried.
Okay.
And my stepfather, he was a good man, and we were raised on a farm, man.
Yeah.
We had cows, chickens, ducks, turkeys, geese, peacocks.
Nice.
You name it, we had it. And so I grew up learning how to work, pretty much all my life.
Okay.
And answer your question, so yes, we did. I did have both of my parents.
Okay. How important? Because your mom and your dad are in the picture, right?
Yeah, I was raised by my grandparents, actually.
Right on.
But I mean, my mom is still in my life, like you said. But not having a dad in my life, it wasn't really it didn't affect me too much like people it usually affects them. But my grandfather taking that role of the father figure really it helped me a lot, actually, because I know not a lot of people are fortunate to have that. So for him stepping in, I really appreciate that.
Thank you. And thank God you say that, because you got something to say on that too about grandparents.
Yeah, because same thing, I didn't grow up with my dad in my life, so I grew up with my grandparents. They took care of me all my life, and made me feel no less than what other people grew up,
For sure.
So I appreciate them a lot for doing the same role.
Yeah, because I told my daughter, I said, don't worry about him. I raise my own kids.
Yeah.
I raise my own kids. It makes no difference if your dad is in your life or not. No. But I never discouraged him, that if his dad does come into his life, to get to know him, to know who he is, because he have to know that side of the family in order to really know who you really are.
Yeah.
So, and thank God that he met his grandmother on his dad's side, 2 years ago?
Yeah, Christmas.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you guys surprised me with the Zoom with my brother.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep, and he met his brother a couple years back that I have 23andMe.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going on, checking out my ancestry on 23andMe.
Oh, yeah, I know what you
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a genealogy. Yeah, and I saw somebody says Elijah's, that had close DNA to Elijah. Then I found out it was his brother.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I got in contact with him.
So funny story about that. So the dad I called dad today, that's actually my that's my mom's husband. My real dad, I don't know my real dad,
Okay.
So I don't
Same here, yeah.
So you see what I'm saying? So I like how we're all connected on this part because and then that was the biggest question when you said you're bringing on, pops. I didn't know if it was your, pops or pops. So
Yeah, I'm here.
So I'm glad we're all talking about this because we all got something very, very in common now.
Oh, yeah.
And to me, my advice when my stepdad, when my dad, when he came into my life, he took care of us. But then my mom and him weren't together, so it affected me as a child through all high school because it was through high school where he wasn't in my life. So it's just me and my mom.
Right.
So that's why I say I'm very, very glad that you have a support team by your side through everything you do.
Yeah.
And then even Salvador here, he's got his whole support system too. He's got his grandparents, his aunts, uncles, me, now me. We've been friends when we were 9 years old.
Oh, okay.
I left for 10 years and I came back and we're friends. Like if nothing ever happened, we're brothers. Like if nothing ever
That's
happened.
the best types of friendship.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But now let's get into a little more of your whole journey about where you're headed, what you're doing. So talk to me. So you got into football.
Yeah.
You graduated high school.
Yes, sir.
And then take me after high school, cause I'm a little. I look at your Instagram, but I'm a little lost on what after high school. We're coming after high school.
Yeah. So, went to Woodland Christian High School. Definitely still Pioneer High School. Like I bleed black and gold. But after high school, went the JUCO route.
Okay.
Cause COVID, that was like the COVID year, like 2021. So I went to American River.
Okay.
Playing football, that's always been the fore focus. So I'm playing football at American River. The schemes wasn't really like my style. Like shout out Coach O, definitely a great coach.
Shout out Coach O.
Yeah. So like I said, the playing style wasn't really like my type of style for a tight end. So I ended up transferring to Sac City. Sac City was definitely a great experience for me. Shout out Coach Walker. Taking me under his wing, developing me, helping me to see if you really want to be that JUCO grind is real, bro.
Mm-hmm. I see it. I see them shows. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, that JUCO grind is real. So it was just he was like, if you really want to go D1, how bad do you want it? So that was a tough time because it's just you're just I want to play Division I football. I want to play football after JUCO.
Mm-hmm.
So that's that during that time you're just grinding, you're training, you're thinking about all the time, bro. You just never stop thinking about making it to that next level. So when after that season, when I was able to start getting offers, coaches started talking to me. I was like, wow, this is real. I got one of my goals scratched off the list.
Yeah.
So ended up committing to University of San Diego. Coach Aponte was my offensive coordinator. He's a great coach. Thankful to have him in my life. So after that, I'm at San Diego. First season just passed. It was a great learning experience as well.
Mm-hmm.
Going in from JUCO, you think okay, it's just gonna be just like JUCO. I'm gonna ball out and do it. Totally not the case. I mean, it was not a case of like, okay, I'm gonna ball out, but it was more so like everyone is balling out. Like everyone is good in D1. Like I've played against amazing players that have made me an even better player. So and like now that's where we're at. Like I'm in San Diego, loving it there. Never
What
want to leave.
what's the so what's the plan after that? What do you plan on doing after that?
We're going to the NFL. Like that's just the next step. I know what it takes. I know like just to be able to say it like confidently is it's easy to say, but the work behind it is the hard part. And I'm excited. Like I have faith. I know it's part of God's plan for me, to use football as a platform for my faith. But yeah, like we're going to the NFL. Like no doubts in my mind about it.
Right on. So what are distractions that you had to get over, and how'd you get over them? You know.
Man, so distractions, I would say from like JUCO or like college, like D1.
From JUCO
JUCO, so
to get to that next level.
yeah, that next level for sure. So in JUCO, I would say more so like you have you because you know the people you're in, you still in your town. So it's just like you have your friends, you have parties, you have girls, and so you have to like kind of just like put all that stuff aside, and you're just like just tunnel vision, because it's like 'cause it's really just you versus you, because you're like 1 foot in where it's like, okay, I want to go D1, and the other foot's in like, okay, like I want to stay with my friends, like I could just chill.
Yeah.
You know, so having to kind of like not really shut out that social life, but just tame it. Just tame
Lock
it
in.
for a bit. Yeah, you just gotta lock in. Like, how bad do you want it? Really, what it comes down to. I would say that was like the biggest thing for me, because I'm a friend guy. Like I love having my friends around. I love being with my guys.
No, I was telling him I saw you at the gym and you were with like 6 other guys. Like, yeah, I didn't want to go see what's up with him. My dad did like 6 other guys. Like, nice to meet you, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Nah, that's cool. It's cool to see.
Yeah, those were my cousins.
Those are your cousin?
Yeah, those are my cousins, bro. They're
Imagine with you,
like-
your cousins and your friends. There's probably 12 of you guys.
Dude, yeah, dude, whole gang just comes.
Yeah.
with me.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
No,
with our friend group, there's like good, what, 9, 10 of us? Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm like, if we're gonna do something, like let's do something productive.
Together, yeah.
I think that was a good compromise that I ended up having, because I was like, okay, I want to hang out with my friends, but like I need to get that work in. So like, let me just get that work in with my friends.
With your friends. Oh, I like how you said that. You get to
Yeah.
working with your friends. Right on. What about you? Back in the day, since you were way different than now, which I want to talk to you about later too.
Yeah.
What are distractions back in the day you had to overcome to be a good person you are today?
It's nothing changed. There's
No?
nothing changed. Distractions. Friends is always, distraction. If they don't have the same mindset that you have.
Exactly.
OG talk.
And that's what's more important and I told this to Elijah. You have to find friends that have the same mindset that you have, because if you don't, they're going to go down one direction and you're going to go another direction, but you're going to have a tendency to do what they're doing because it seems like it's more, it's more fun in what they're doing.
Yeah.
But you have to but you have to realize that, hey, that's not my journey. God has a journey for me, and I have to stay on that. I have to stay on that journey that God has. Because I got caught up. Just a little bit about me. I went to after high school. I went to a technical school, DeVry Institute of Technology in Arizona.
Okay.
To become an electrician.
Nice.
Started going to school, like everyone else, and then then we started getting caught up into smoking weed, drinking, girls, and things like that. And then as life went on, it was only like an 18-month course, and then you graduate.
Yeah.
And I got caught up in that. Before I knew it, the 18 months was gone. And I didn't graduate. I saw a bunch of my friends.
Oh, wow.
I saw a bunch of my friends graduate, So what I said to myself, I'm going to go back home, and I'm going to start my life all over again.
That's hard, in a way.
Yeah.
It's hard to start over. I did that coming here.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
I did that coming here.
I
Start all
started
over.
my life all over again, moved back home with my mother, and started going to church with her, got a job, And because that's what I said in my mind. You know, I'm gonna start going to church. I'm gonna give me a job, and then I'm gonna start school all over again.
Nice.
And that's exactly what I did. You know, and then
And those are the basics.
yeah,
That's and
exactly.
that's just the basics.
Those are the
Yeah,
foundation.
that's the foundation. Yeah.
That's the foundation.
That's
And you
what I'm
got to
saying.
build, and you have to build on, on that. And so that's what I did, and I started going to AR. ARC. That's why I went to school at, and then got caught up again. You know,
Back in the
you'll
hometown.
never lose. You'll never lose the type of friends that you have that you try to get away from. They're gonna always be there. Their faces will be different and their names will be different, but the same type of friends. You see what I'm saying?
I get that.
You know
the
what
same
I'm
type of
saying?
group. Yeah,
Yeah, it's the same
exactly.
type of group.
Facts right now,
Okay.
bro.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
because I got caught up, with the
Yeah.
same type of friends, and and so what I did was I heard them talk about they didn't have any coke to snort, and I knew somebody who sold it, and they told me anytime you want, let me know. So that's what I was going to do. I was going to be a cocaine dealer, but so happens my mother was praying for me. My wife, she wasn't my wife at the time, and praying for me, and then God just stopped me. Hey, if you don't stop what you're doing, you're heading for a dead end street. So
yeah.
I turned around. I gave my life. I gave my life to God, and I've been, and that's what I've been doing.
And you started seeing difference once you start hanging out with those type of friends.
Come on, man.
Oh, that's what.
Yeah. Because within a year time, when I went back to the friends that I was with, they were still doing the same thing that they were doing when they was 16, 17 years old.
Jeez.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They didn't grow up.
Yeah.
And they was doing the same thing. So that's what actually changed my lifestyle. And then once I got married and had kids, I started telling my kids about God, because I was a preacher then, so I started telling my kids about God and raising them up in that type of lifestyle, because I done seen both sides that I almost, it almost cost me my life.
And let's talk about God a little bit, because we've been on that. I mean, my uncle, we have a church right here in Woodland.
Okay.
And then he's ready to go to church too.
Okay.
We had, I don't know if you know Felix.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I know
Felix,
Felix.
he actually, I hope you guys watch his podcast. He actually started saying verses on them, and we talked about God most of the good half of the podcast.
Yeah.
Okay.
And my friend here, Salvador, he got really inspired, and he texted me. He was like, he inspired me to go to church, again, and get into why is having God in your life so important in your guys' eyes?
From where I came from, like I said, it almost cost me. It almost cost me my life. And I was 22 years old. Okay, I was about y'all age. I don't know how old you guys are, but I was 22 years old, and I just prayed. I said, God, I'm too young to die. Because when it was said to me that if you don't stop what you're doing, you're heading for a dead end street. To me, that meant death. That's in my mind.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So I said, Lord, I'm too young to die. If you just save my life, if you save me, then I'll serve you the rest of my life. And that's what happened.
He saved you.
I felt a whole difference inside my life. In my life. Everything looked new. I seen the sky before, but it wasn't as bluer, than when I gave my life to God. I seen flowers before, it wasn't as beautiful when I gave my life to God. So everything changed. I had the same body, had the same friends, but what I said was, regardless of what my friends do, I'm gonna do what I want to do, and if my friends accept me, fine. If they don't, that's fine. That's fine too. Because this is me. This is what I have to do. Because right now, at that particular moment, my friends couldn't save me. My family couldn't save me. My own mother couldn't save me. Because I was heading down that road, man.
Yeah.
because I grew up, like I said, I'm back up when I was in Phoenix because that's where I went to school at. I got caught up in smoking weed. I went all the way to smoking angel dust. Stuff like that. And, snorting. I got caught up in that stuff, man. And as I look back now, I could have been dead a long time ago. It was nothing but the grace of God that saved me.
Was there like a special situation that made you switch?
Or what that? Excuse
Like
me.
a situation like hit you real hard?
It was that. I started to sell cocaine. I mean, I was at that. I was right there at that verge. My mind was already made up. I already had my connection. And then that's when God just ministered to my heart, man. I heard Him. And I just changed.
Oh yeah.
I just changed. I said, no, this is. So I seen both sides of the fence. I have, and I like it. I like it on this side. Because I'm free.
Yeah.
Because I'm not. Nothing controlled my life. No substance, shall I say? Mm-hmm. No substance controlled my life like it did back then. I was waking up. Drinking wine, drinking alcohol. I'm waking up smoking weed because it's controlling me.
First thing on your mind, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But now, nothing control my life.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? There's no substance control my life. And I love that. I love that feeling. And that's why I tell my son, tell young brothers like you,
God is good.
about my God is good, man.
Right on. God
He
is good.
is. He definitely is, because I almost when I was in 12th grade, I had a car wreck. I stole a car, and I wasn't driving it. A friend of mine was driving it, and we went on this dirt road, and Dunnigan hit a telephone pole, and I sliced my face from here all the way across here, and it cut my face on the outside here, but it went up under my lip and cut up under my lip, and my whole face and my whole lip just fell down flat, So when I gave my life to God, it's almost like God showed me that whole accident all over again, and it was like He was saying, you were this close from death, So, and so I looked at that. I said, Lord, thank you, because my head could have went all the way through the windshield instead of hitting the windshield, and I bounced back because this side of my face hit the windshield and I bounced back, and that's why, it cut my face, So things, so things like that, man, is what I thank God for.
Now you, Elijah, you've always believed in God, right? Since
Yeah.
since out the womb, right? You just
Since
God
out
was
the womb, bro.
So how do you think God worked in your life? What has He done?
For me, I feel like being raised in a Christian household, it's always like, yeah, like, okay, like I believe in God. But like more recently, like as I was able to be by myself, like more independent in college and stuff, that's when you like actually really get to know like God for yourself. Cause you see how like the world is like you have free choice. You could do whatever you want to. So when it's like when you're just by yourself and you like have nowhere to turn, like okay, you're like, okay, I believe in God, like this is what my dad says, like
Yeah.
let me try it, you know what I'm saying? And it always comes through, like God's always gonna come through, bro.
Yeah.
Like
Literally,
I've had
yeah.
like situations where I'm just like okay, like what am I gonna do? Like I have no idea what my next move is, and then God just comes in and just like
Here you go.
yeah, fixes everything. So like just like stuff like that, like, and also because I'm a rational person, like for me, like it has to make sense. Like if it doesn't make sense, I'm not even gonna like try. But the Bible, like for me, it just makes sense. Like it's just right there for you. And
That's the blueprint. That's
it's
what
literally the blueprint, bro.
That's the blueprint right there.
Yeah. So
Ask and you'll seek. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's
real.
what I'm saying.
Yeah, so like I have a question about life. Turn to the Bible, it's right there. I'm like, oh, okay, like that makes sense. It's just like stuff like that for me. Like that's why how my faith is getting stronger. And like, don't get me wrong, like I'm not perfect. I still have like my slip ups. I'm still like not really a baby, but I'm still young in the faith.
You're learning.
Yeah, I'm still learning. So it's like I'm gonna mess up, but overall, bro, like God has been good to me, and I'm just glad, like I'm glad that to be part of this path.
See, and that's the thing, no matter how old you are, I've been serving God for 44 years. Okay.
Oh, right on.
And I'm still learning. You know what I'm saying? I'm still, I'm still learning. So it makes no difference how long you've been serving God. Because God is so vast, so huge. That we can't just say, I know God. I know what God does. No, we don't. That's why we walk by faith. Every single day.
You and me both. No. Quick little testimony on this whole podcast again. I remember one night because I work at the airport and I don't get done until 2 a.m. And it was one night and I was like, and then something was telling me like, I was aching for something because I feel like, because I have 2 good jobs, right? And I'm like, but I feel like I'm still not done. I feel like I don't know I feel like I still got something else to do. And I prayed to him. The ride from where I live right now to the airport is about maybe 12 minutes. So 12 minutes I talked to him. And then sure thing the next day I call him and he brought this up. He's like, yo, like we should really do that again. And I'm just like, there it is. You know what I'm saying? It was like a light bulb, But this time we want to do it the right way. We want to, actually be prepared. We want to do it walking in his faith, maybe taking notes from that, getting, people that like you guys, Felix, stuff like that, and then that's me too. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, when I was gone, separated from my parents for about 5 years. I was out there with myself, doing whatever I wanted, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you see my old photos on the Instagram, and I was wild. I had no idea who God was again, And I grew up like that. I grew up as a kid. We were going to church, out the womb. And then sure thing, I lost him. And then I came back here. I think I've only missed one Sunday service, and that's because we were in Santa Barbara for a weekend with the family. Mm-hmm. Other than that, 51 weeks strong so far, or 50 weeks strong, going to church every day.
That's right on, man.
So, I just want to say, thank you.
Yeah, and you find out that it's more than just going to church. A lot of people think that's just, that's it, just going to church, But we're actually his children, And I lost my stepfather in 1981, and I just became a father myself, And so I was praying. I said, Lord, I don't even know how to be a dad, And I just lost my father. And so I prayed to him and I said, Lord, teach me. I'm gonna come to you. You're my dad now. And I need you to teach me how to be a dad, So God wanted to be more than just going to church. He wanted to be personal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I did. I took him on as my dad. So any questions that I have, I go to him first. Anything that I need, I go to him first, as if he's sitting right here with us. And when I pray by myself, that's what I call him. I call him Dad.
Call him Dad. Yeah. Speaking on dads, it's probably a question you read in there. So I got about 2 cousins, 119, 123, and they're young dads, and they're still they call me for advice, and I don't even know what to tell them sometimes. But what advice do you have for all like the young dads that are having kids right now, 19 and to like 24 years old right now that we're seeing? What advice do you have for them where they're lost? They don't even know how to take care of themselves. What can you really tell them right now?
To being a minister and everything, first thing is to get to know God. That's my suggestion.
Exactly, yeah.
Is to get to know God, and He'll teach you how to be a father. Another thing is to love your children. Don't put things in front of your kids. Don't put what you want to do, not even yourself. Because once you have children, your children come first, not the things that you want to do. Because I've seen a lot of young mothers, a lot of young fathers, drop their kids off, and then they go and party or whatever, and then they come back. Why? Because they had kids when they were young, and they still want to go out and hang out and do what they used to do.
Can't do that. Yeah.
But you're not giving that child.
You gotta change.
Exactly. You're not giving that child that attention, that you should give them, because before you know it, they're going to be 20 years old.
Yeah.
They'll be 21 years old before you know it. And you lost out on all that on all that precious time. You lost out on seeing them take their first step. You lost out hearing them, say their first words. Because you're too busy hanging out or doing whatever. Love your kids. Don't put nothing in front of them. It's all right if they make a mistake. You don't have to sit there and yell at them all the time. I had a problem with that, until I actually learned that.
So for you, Elijah, for someone chasing their dream, because right now that's what you're on a mission, right? You're headed towards the NFL, your dream, your goal, the end. Not the end point, but that's where you want to make it.
Yeah.
So what advice do you have for someone that's around, let's say, just entering high school, right? He's starting to play football, or let's say young and ready to play football. What advice do you have to give out to that?
I would just say, envision what you want to do. Like, figure out, like, the end goal. Like, make up in your mind what it is, then figure out what the first plan of action is to get to that goal.
Okay.
Like, for me, okay, I want to go to the NFL. What can I do today to get one step closer to that goal? So, and if you, break it down to little parts, bro, before you, even know, you're going to be, that close. You're going to be there. Also, I would just say, don't give up. That's cliche, don't give up, but, it's gonna get tough. It's gonna be hard. There's millions of kids that want the same exact thing that you want.
Exactly.
And it's just, that day you stops, there's someone else working. And, if you have that, that Mamba mentality, you're just, no one's gonna outwork me. If someone's working, I have to work harder than him. Or if I'm not gonna work, there's someone else that's gonna be, if you're just constantly thinking about that and it never leaves your mind, you're gonna be straight. You'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
And also, finding, a mentor, too. Finding someone who's been there. Finding someone who's willing to help you. It doesn't have to be a parent. It could be, a friend. Someone who's just there to push you.
There you go.
Yeah, keep you on your P's and Q's. That's always going to be really helpful.
Who do you feel like has been your mentor, your pops?
Yeah, my dad, for sure. I've had my uncle. They've also they're just putting in information, making sure I work hard, but then you get to a point where you're okay, now I have people looking at me, so that just gives you even more motivation. I have little cousins, I have a little brother now, so it's me making my goal determines how they grow up. I could have my little brother could be saying I have a brother in the NFL. I think about that all the time. And that's honestly one of my biggest motivations right now. I want to take my family and put them in a better position. And just having a why, I would say too, is a really big thing in chasing dreams. Because if you don't have a why, then you're just playing to play. And that's really dangerous, I would say, because you're just out there.
You're doing it to do it. Yeah, there's no purpose for it.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I told him, I said, your why have to be strong enough to sustain you.
Mm-hmm.
You just can't make up a why off the top of your head.
Mm-hmm.
It have to be strong enough to sustain you. So because you're not going to have those good days. You're not going to have that drive. You're not going to have that motivation all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to feel like quitting.
Mm-hmm.
But if you write down your why, and it's a strong why, when those times come, you look back on your why and say, okay, I see why I'm doing this now, and it encourage you and it keep you going. Mm-hmm. And something about Elijah that I forgot to say is that ever since he was in about fifth grade, he said, Dad, I want to go and play for who?
I don't remember.
I want to go play for Florida State. Ever since he was about in fifth, sixth grade.
FSU, yeah.
Florida State. Yeah. He wanted to go D1. I said, hey, let's do it. And you asked me about the questions about, what type of advice I would give young fathers. Never discourage your children. Mm-hmm. I could have, he said, I want to go play for Florida State. Mm-hmm. I could have said, hey.
You're crazy.
You crazy. You know what I mean? You could play right here at Sac City.
Play for one
that's a close color. You're going to get to Florida State, never discourage your kids.
Mm-hmm.
Never discourage your kids. You know, it might sound stupid to you, you know, but that's their dream. That's what they want to, you know, that's what they want to do, you know. Encourage them. Hey, let's do it, you know, and be right there. Be right there to support them. I don't care if it's sports. I don't care if it's playing drums, even computer games. I mean, kids making bank off of just playing computer games.
I'm glad you understand that. Thank you. I'm glad you
Yeah. No,
Taking
serious.
over the game.
Yeah, serious.
Real talk.
Because they can take these kids who's good in computer games and fight wars with them because it's the same type of, you know, mechanism that they.
I didn't even think about it like that.
You hear what I'm
true.
saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, they driving everything, you know, with joysticks now. And yeah, so always encourage, you know, your child, you know, and make it possible that they can, you know, reach their dream. You know, it may cost you a lot, you know, it may cost you time, it may cost you money, you know, but that's your child, you know, and you always want your child to be better than you.
Yeah.
You know, that's the way it is. That's the way.
My parents, that's what my dad always says. Yeah, just be better than me. Yeah.
And you give them the opportunity, you know, to do that, and that's what I've been. And that's why I told her I spent too much money on you for you to quit now. That's why you're not going to quit. No, that's not it. Because I just want him to, you know, to reach his dream.
You gonna get there, dude. I see it. I see it. You gonna get there. You know,
Football wasn't his first love. Basketball.
Can't forget about basketball.
Basketball was
really a hooper though.
Basketball was his.
Basketball?
No, it was. Ever
know.
since he was about 2-3 years old, he was able to dribble a ball. He was seriously. He was able to dribble a ball when he was that age. So I bought him a little plastic basketball hoop.
Kobe.
You know? Yeah,
Everyone had one of those, bro, with the orange rim.
Get the orange. You already know.
Bro, I think of my cousins, bro. Come on, shout out Diego. Bro, I'll be in the Tia's house.
Yeah.
At the cookout.
And then I bought him a bigger one that went from 3 feet to 6 feet. You know, a little plastic one.
Yeah.
You know,
Can raise it up.
He out there. Yeah. And when the country didn't have no backyard, no grass, he out there in the dirt. You know, he doing it. You know, he doing it
Balling
in the
up.
dirt. You know, he had imaginary friends. He had about 5-6 imaginary friends out there.
Whole basketball team.
Yeah, and then after a while, I bought the one, you know, the ones on the side of the street. I bought him one of those, and then he kept playing, and then I built almost a half court.
Dang, jeez.
in my backyard.
Yeah,
So basketball was his
first love.
His first love, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So now, you see the youth now, right? You see a lot of our generation right now. How we're not a lot of us locked in. We lose focus. We can start off with you, Elijah. What advice do you have for our generation, just in general? Like, where do you think we're messing up? Where do you think we could work on? And don't get me wrong. I think the number one thing, of course, is we don't know who God is, right? A lot of us don't know who God is. That's the first thing. But what else do you think that we're messing up on? We need to work on.
Bro, speaking just from personal experience, I feel like social media has our generation in like a chokehold.
Yeah.
Like it affects relationships.
Glad you said that.
It affects like your goals. It affects like what you want to be in life. Like it really, like social media just affects all that type of stuff. Like you see something on social media, you automatically just compare your life to it.
Yeah.
And I think that's just like one of the biggest things. You think, oh, I'm not gonna get there. I have to look like this. I have to.
That's so true. That is
My
so
relationship has to be like this.
And I catch myself doing that sometimes too. You know what I'm saying?
Like me too, bro. Like it really distracts you, and also just the desk scrolling, bro. Like just scrolling to scroll.
Next thing you know, 3 hours later, still
exactly
Still on the couch.
So for me, I have like the little the lock screen thing. Like it like comes up to the timer.
Okay.
So like I think that helps. Like obviously like you could put the code in if you really wanted to, but it's
keep
like
going, yeah.
that's where you're like, okay, like time's up. Like I need to get off my phone. Another thing I would say is just I feel like we're not as respectful as other generations.
Respect the elders is still very big. It's still a thing. Respect the elders.
It's just a lack of respect for like oneself and for others.
Facts.
Yeah.
What about you? What do you think our generation is kind of like playing around with right now? We got to like get it together because For me, it's time. My biggest thing is like I don't want to wake up 30, 40, 50 saying, man, what if I would have, done it? You know what I'm saying? I feel like we're all waiting for a certain time.
See, and that's huge, man. I'm glad you said that, because that's huge. As I always tell a lot of young people, especially those who getting ready to graduate out of high school, and I said, as I look back on my life, I'm 66. I said, I can hear my mother saying right now, you could be anything you want to be,
Exactly.
But when I graduate out of high school, I look at 4 years ahead of me. Man, that's a long time. I'm 18 years old. Man, go to college for 4 years or 6 years, 10 years. But as I look back, it went by so quick, and I could have been, my mother's right, it could have been anything that I wanted to be. From the time I was 18 up until now, I could have went to school for 30 years and still graduate, could have been anything, brain surgeon, heart surgeon, I could have been anything that I wanted to be during that period of time, and still graduate, become a doctor, whatever. Still had time enough to retire by the time I'm 66.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, yeah.
But what young people do, they look at that time and they think it's a long time, to get there. And like you said, and staying locked in, to accomplish that goal. That's what they don't have, because what's happening now is everything is instant.
Yeah.
Everything is quick. So the young people now have that quick mentality. I want it now. I got to get it now. I can't wait. Can't wait that long, And before they know it, a year go by, 2 years go by, 4 years go by, 5 years go by, and they still don't have it, because they procrastinated all that time, and by the time they get ready to get locked in, they, 4 years and went by already. If you'd have stayed locked in at first, you would have accomplished your goal. So that's why I said that this generation wants everything fast, everything now.
I catch myself feeling like that too. Like you said, for example, social media and what you said, I'm scrolling, I'm like, man, I could go drop ship or whatever. I can go do this really fast, or I can go do something really fast. But then I'm like, wait. And then my dad goes, like if you just sit down and you just lock in and you do what you have to do and you put in the work, you're and you believe in God, you're gonna get what you want. It's gonna come. It's there. Like it is. Yeah, you just gotta literally sit down and do what you gotta do. Like you said, foundations.
Yeah.
The foundation is there. That's my biggest thing. But other than that, so I don't know if you got any more questions for them.
Yeah, because he said when he was younger that his friends got him in trouble a lot, or once he cut his friends off, that's when you seen a difference. For you, do you had to cut some friends off, or cut some friends off to get to better? Because you got to that D1 school, so you had to make a couple changes, That's a big thing.
1000%, bro. My favorite thing, I listen to a lot of Lil Baby. So he said, everybody can't go to the top. I had to leave some people. Yep. And
Big facts.
everyone can't fit in that elevator to the top, bro. Yep. And it's unfortunate. Like, obviously, I wish I could bring everybody who I came in contact with to that level, but some people it's just not meant to be. Some people are in your life for a season. And I wouldn't necessarily say cut them off, but more so just we fade out, we fade apart.
That's what it is.
If you want to stay stagnant while I'm still chasing my dream, we're obviously gonna grow apart.
Yeah.
But I'm always gonna be here for people that I felt out with. I'm not gonna act better than nobody, just because that's not the right thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
But to answer your question, I definitely had to cut some people off or fade apart from them just to chase my goals. Because if I didn't, I don't know if I would be in the same position as I am today.
You got to.
Not only just friends, also family.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Family's word.
Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah.
And I was just telling my brother this. I think family's probably probably our biggest haters. If you can tell. Those are our biggest ones.
Yeah.
I got a DM from someone lives in New York. praising me. He's like, thank you for him, what he said on the podcast. And I got an uncle or cousin somewhere. We're like, man, that's stupid. Why do why waste your time?
And it hurts the most because it's coming from your family.
Yeah.
And I got someone that doesn't know who I am, only know me from this, and they're over here saying thank you, and I'm just like, you're welcome,
Yeah, it's real.
Yep, and you keep going regardless.
Exactly.
Like Elijah said, every single day you have to do something to help you accomplish your goal. Sometimes you don't feel like it, but just do a little something to help you accomplish that. Accomplish that. Yeah, because it's a marathon. Always remember it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah. That's what I
get where you want to go.
So the biggest thing the one thing I wake up in the morning, I tell myself every morning, pray obviously, but the other thing I say is I don't know when we're gonna get there, but we're gonna get there.
We're gonna get there, bro.
That's kind of what I tell myself. I look at this and I'm like, I don't know when, but we're gonna get there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're gonna get there. So
that's you got your studio, man.
Thank you.
How long you said it took you to
almost
do
2 months, to
almost
build
2 months, but you didn't give up.
No, here we are. No,
and you didn't know nothing about carpentry, huh?
Not a single thing. Me and my our best friend was YouTube for 2. Me and my dad. My dad didn't know nothing either. We were just kind of just came in here, bought some stuff at Lowe's, and we just kind of figured it out.
Started working at it.
And I feel like it looks somewhat okay, so we got it going now. Thank you.
But that's what life is all about, man. Is building.
Yep. Building.
This right here was just building physically. But you accomplish it.
Yeah.
But our life is the same. It's the same way.
No. Yeah.
Like I said, trusting God with everything in you, man.
Thank you.
With everything in you.
Thank you.
Because I gave the world 100%, and it almost destroyed my life. At 22 years old, almost destroyed my life at 22 years old.
That's all I am.
You hear what I'm saying? But I gave my life to God.
Mm-hmm.
He saved my life up until now. Now I have 4 lovely daughters. I have 8 grandchildren. God bless me with a home, and automobiles. I retired from my job. I worked on my job for 33 years. I retired at the age of 55.
Nice. Right on. Yep. Nice. Right on.
So because why? Because he's my dad. He's my dad. And everything that I look for and asking for, of course, and being obedient and not going back doing those old stupid things I used to do.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So God, and he blesses that. He blesses obedience. He blesses obedience.
Thank you. This was the amazing part. One last thing I have to say. Not a question, but I love that every time you make a post, because you have a big social media following, every time you make a post, I love that you put Dunnigan, California. I love that you don't forget where you came from. That's my biggest thing, because you're in San Diego now, so you can easily be put in San Diego. Yeah. Everyone knows who San Diego is, but I doubt majority of us know where Dunnigan is. And nobody know where Woodland is. Bro. So one thing I've been saying a lot on this podcast is I love Woodland. Everyone always talks about they can't wait to get out of Woodland. No, for what? Woodland didn't do nothing to you. If anything, everybody wants to come to Woodland. Everybody wants to go to Dunnigan.
A lot of people come to Woodland for sure.
See what I'm saying? So it's like I like that you don't ever forget where you came from.
Never.
Thank you for showing that on your social media. Me, once again, I'm still gonna say I love Woodland. I told myself 10 years ago I was never gonna come back. Here I am at 22 years old. I'm back. I'm back in Woodland. Never left.
I love
Born
and
raised.
That's what I said about Dunnigan too when I was young. When I left, I said I'm not going back to Dunnigan. And once I was in Phoenix, I told everybody I was from Sacramento.
Mm-hmm. Me too. I'd be saying I'm from Sacramento, Lake Tahoe. I'd be saying random. Some city people know about San Francisco.
Yep. And then after a while, I started telling people, no, I'm from Dunnigan. Got to represent.
Exactly.
Got to represent the country.
Shout out Dunnigan. Shout out Bill and Kathy. Shout out Pilot. All that, bro. Yes, sir.
No, truly, man, I see you doing that, and because I watch a lot of things on social media, and I like to see who to get on next and whatnot, and I see you, and that's very, very good. I'm sure Pops taught you that. Don't forget where you came from. Don't forget the roots,
always.
The foundation. Never forget the foundation.
That's where it started, bro.
That's what I'm saying. But no, guys, I mean that's what I got for you guys. I don't know if you guys have any questions for us.
Bro,
any questions for us?
I just want to say thank you for having us, man.
Always welcome.
This is huge for me, bro.
Always welcome. Always welcome.
I was like, bro, I'm gonna be on the podcast.
He was.
I wanted my dad to be my dad's here with me. This is huge.
And this is what it's all about. This is amazing, right? What I'm watching right now is the dad, and just talking about what's happened and what's gonna happen. This is an amazing picture. I can't wait to drop this podcast. I can't wait to edit. I'm gonna have fun editing.
Another one in like 2 years, bro.
Definitely, we can do one tomorrow if you want. You know, we can do whenever you want.
Let's get it, man.
Yeah, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you guys.
I wasn't expecting to be on. I just came to support him. I'm always there to try to support him.
Well, at first he said he wanted to bring his friend on when we were gonna first do it, but then that's kind of when I was ready to kind of stop it, where I wasn't, I lost the motivation. I lost the whole goal for it. And then when he texted me, hey, is it okay if my dad comes and watches? And I was like, well, how about he just be on it? And he's like, yeah. And then
that was confirmation too, because I was literally telling him before you texted me, I was like, what if you hop on? And then you texted him, and
that's
like,
what
you
he
should have
said
him
too.
hop on, and I was like, okay, yeah, like we gotta do it now.
Right. But thank you guys for coming on. Once again, guys, it's Cruiser Rat Toxic King Season 3. Thank you, Salvador, once again for coming on. Elijah,
make sure you guys check out his highlights.
Pops, thank you for coming on. Pops, pleasure having you. All the social medias will be down below. Make sure you guys go follow him, subscribe, like, comment.
Everything,
Once again, guys, Cruiser Rat Toxic Kings. We're out.
Peace.